Y'all ever see that episode of South Park where they were trying to give Cartman his vaccinations, and old boy just turned into a squealing pig and ran around like a damn Tasmanian devil and just was destroying the entire doctor's office? It was this, like, it looked like this. Now imagine that. Multiply that by 3, remove the shot, and just have them trying to put those kids to bed. Like, it was so bad that at the end of the whole sequence, and I finally got them all in bed, I'm just laying there in my bed, looking up at the ceiling, thinking to myself, which one of my kids do I dislike the least right now? And that was my first thought. My second thought was, that's a terrible thing to think. I need to move my mind to something that I could rank, something better. So I thought, what do I have 3 of? And then it dawned on me, Dinobots. So I want to talk about the 3 Studio Series 86 Dinobot releases, and I want to compare them and just rank them to see which one of them I love the most. See, glass half full, folks, glass half full. So let's get into it. Now I'm going to keep it a stack. I'm gonna keep it real with you. I love all 3 of these. I absolutely love these figures. I was blown away when I got Grimlock. I was blown away when I got Slag. I was blown away when I got Sludge. They are the truest mainline Dinobots we've ever gotten, and I know we're too short, but I gotta rank these guys because they are seriously something special. But not without their flaws, because we got to find some flaws. All right, so let's get into it. First off, accessories. They suck. Now, anybody who follows this channel knows I'm an accessory whore. Like, I love me some accessories. And the accessories that have been included with these figures are terrible. They're just one gun in the case of Sludge, and then a gun and a useless figure that looks like it's about to pop a squat in a toilet with Grimlock and with Slag. And yeah, I mean, let's see, Slug's gun is at least painted pretty well. The other 2 are just kind of bland. Slag's is kind of painted a little bit, but I mean, they're just, there's nothing to write home about. It's nothing great. And with Grimlock and Sludge, the weapon storage is terrible. I mean, absolutely terrible. Grimlock has it hanging off his back, just protruding off his back. And Sludge looks like he's about to give birth to a gun because it's hanging on his underbelly. Like, this shit is lame. But yeah, I mean, but Slag, weapon storage, top notch in Dino mode by far. Okay, let's talk about materials and build quality. All 3 of these, when they first came out, the first run of these were terrible. They had terrible flaws. Okay, so Grimlock, when Grimlock first dropped, his arms in robot mode, which are also the legs in Dino mode, there's a little tab in between there. They didn't tab in properly, so the legs just became these floppy messes because the tabs would either break, be worn out, or come stressed out of the package. And you basically just couldn't pose him in Dino mode because you have to have him sitting on his tail. If you don't, he's going to keel over and fall. With Slag, you had the backpack and robot mode that didn't tab in properly. People were trying to tab it in and it just kept flopping down as soon as you moved the figure. It was just terrible. Also, not to mention, there were reports about the ratchet and the legs being kind of messed up. A flaw that carried over to Sludge. Sludge famously has spaghetti legs because the soft ratchet in the legs and in the arms in some copies warped, and it's not catching on the ratchet teeth, so they just flop around. And luckily I didn't have any of these flaws because I didn't get the first runs of these figures. I got what probably is the second or third run of these figures when they finally got to my area. But removing that aside, the build quality on these, outside of those, if you didn't end up with any of those flaws, if you just had the straight normal figures with the working parts, the build quality in all three of them is pretty damn similar and just straight up good. I like the quality of them. They feel good in the hand. They're not like bulky figures. Let's get that out the way. Sludge is bulky. Sludge has a little bit of weight to him compared to the other two. It's not a weighty figure like die-cast weighty or like extra like thick plastic weighty, but it definitely has a little more weight to it compared to the other two figures, to Grimlock and Slag. Now, another interesting thing is all three of them feature gold accents, but it's not gold plastic. I was looking at these guys, really examining them, and you can actually tell that they were using gray plastic and painting over it with gold. So we're not going to get the gold plastic syndrome for any of these guys, where a couple of years from now they're all going to collapse upon each other. There are reports of yellowing on a couple of these guys, but honestly, if you remove all that, if you just got a straight out of the box figure, the build quality on all three of these is pretty spectacular, and they're well put together, they're well made. But removing all that, if I was to give it just strictly on build quality and materials, I got to give that one to Sludge. Paint. So here's the thing. This one is all the way Slag all the time. Slag has the best paint job out of all of them. The face is painted in robot mode. Like, the accents are painted better. It's just a better overall paint job compared to the other two figures. And he also doesn't have sort of the marbling that Grimlock has, and Sludge has a little bit of the marbling effect on the back of his legs. You can definitely tell in Dino mode more than anything else, but definitely Slag has the best paint job out of the three. Bottom line, end of story. Now, posing with these guys is interesting because all three of them pose almost exactly the same. In robot mode, you're getting the ball jointed head, you're getting the full 360 on your arms, you're getting the bicep swivels, you're getting the great posing in the legs, your ankle tilts, you're getting all the good stuff. Now, the difference though is the Dino modes. Now, here's where the rubber meets the road. This one is unfortunately I have to remove Slag from this one because, let's be honest, he turns into a Triceratops. Triceratops aren't exactly known for their agile posing. It's just like a hippo or a rhinoceros. They're not exactly known for their agility. They're known for their size, their bulk, and their speed, but they're not exactly known for their superior posing in photos and things like that. So this one easily goes to Grimlock. I mean, Sludge puts up a pretty solid performance, but since the robot modes are so similar in their posing, you got to go with the alt modes, which are Dino modes, and the Dino mode by virtue of it just being a T-Rex that can pose the hell out of itself. I got to give it to Grimlock. Transformation and engineering. Okay, so let's be honest here. Out of the three of them, the most fun to transform is Grimlock. Grimlock's quick, easy. I mean, you can pick up this transformation in like a couple of minutes and you'll have it down. I mean, I hadn't transformed this guy in a little while, and I mean, I picked him up and I was right back in it. I picked up Slag. Slag is a little more in depth, but the difference between Slag, Sludge, Grimlock, Slag cleans up, man. Slag turns from a full-size leader class, old school leader class figure into a much smaller, bulkier Triceratops. And I mean, you got to give it to him. He is a well engineered figure, and it's not a frustrating transformation. That's the difference. I feel like Sludge has a few sections in his transformation that are just straight up frustrating because they just won't peg in properly unless you line it up just right. Where Slag gives you that little bit of a window where you can do things in a different set of order and you can get everything in place. Now, mind you, getting the tail locked into place can be a bit of a trip, but you don't have to do it right away. Whereas slug, you have to do it. You have to do everything in a certain order, or it's just not going to work. And I've learned that a couple of times by transforming this guy. If you don't do it the right way, it's not going to work. Grimlock, just pick up and play. That's sort of what it is. But the overall engineering is just absolutely fantastic. And I mean, he's going to win this one running away because he goes from this giant figure to this tiny little figure especially compared to the other two in dinosaur mode. Not to mention that he cleans up much better than the other two. It's like there's no extra kibble anywhere. Like with Slug, there's no extra. But the overall fun factor, I gotta give it a Grimlock. I mean, like I said, you could just pick up and play. I hadn't transformed Grimlock in probably a month. I've just been posing him in Dino mode. But I mean, he's just fun. Like, I just picked him up and I knew exactly what to do. Like, there was no need to sit there and think, oh, does this part go into this part? What do I do with that? It does what it needs to do. It's fun. It's easy. It's intuitive at the same time. It has a lot of different things going on. I mean, but if that's what you're going for, if you want an easy transformer, that's your easy transformer. That gives you everything you want in both modes. If you want the overall engineering experience, a better paint job, and just a straight up clean transformer, you got to get that to Slag. If you want a little heftier version, Sludge has you covered, but Sludge does not clean up well at all. I mean, but overall, if I was to rank one and say this one is the best of the best, I got to give it a Slag. I have to. Slag is just a better overall experience for what I like. I like a little bit of complexity with my Transformers, but I also like clean figures. I don't want any excess bulk. I don't want any crazy backpacks. I want clean. I just want a clean Transformer. And this is the cleanest of all three. This guy gives me everything I want. Grimlock, like I said, is the most fun overall because of the ability to pick up and play, but Slag is the best of the three. Running away. It's just the better experience. But now's your turn. Let me know if you picked up all three of these guys. Where would you rank them? In what order? So leave a comment, like, share, comment, subscribe. Be safe. Be good. And this is the Drunken Prime, cracking open another beer and signing off. Wee. How many people think I pissed off with that one? Came out of nowhere. I picked Slag. Like, oh man, I know people probably gonna be like, yo man, Grimlock, man, what's wrong with you? You talk all this stuff about Grimlock. Yeah, I love Grimlock. But damn, man, Slag clean, man. There's no excess, man. It just feels right. It feels right. So I don't know, man. I just feel like that's where I need to be. That's the Transformer you need. So anyway, yeah, man. Been gone for a little while, doing all this school stuff, being a proper father. So yeah, I'm back, baby. Start getting these videos out. Start getting back into the community, letting y'all know the old drunken prime done got him a new bottle of whiskey and he ready to rock and roll. Anyway, peace out.